So now we've assembled the vehicle, and in this 7th video in the series, let's look at the way to make some very simple steering for the vehicle. When you do test the vehicle on a nice clear, area out in the schoolyard or in the yard at home or garden at home, then what you might find is, and it's obvious why, because only one of the wheels, the rear wheels, is driven by the motor, then you get a tendency for them to sort of go off to one side. So there's more grip on this side, especially with the elastic band, and then it pulls off to one side or pushes round that way. And of course, if the axle at the front, if that wasn't lined up properly, then the motor might want it to go that way. The axle at the front might be misaligned and want to go that way, and you're going to get somewhere in between the two. Whatever happens, it's probably not going to go in a perfectly straight line. So what we'll do is we'll use this hole at the front of the chassis. So I made that hole in it. I think you might well have a chassis that's already got that hole in it, and then we'll use that hole to add in a steering block. So we're going to add steering to the front. So let's unclip at the front, withdraw the axle, and now we'll add a new component. So what we've got is a little cylinder. This one's a little bit too big, so I'm just going to cut it off. And you could cut some of yours off later, but don't cut anything off just yet. And we're going to drill a hole through that cylinder. So again, if you're worried about it before you start and don't want to just judge where to do it, make a dot like that. So what we're going to do is drill a hole all the way through that and come out the other side. Use a pencil again, or just one of these pointed dowels. So try and get it in a nice line. Look at it sideways on. Look at it every possible way. There we go. Withdraw it. Maybe go through the other side as well, just to make sure. Now the axle isn't going to go back in that hole. It's going to go back through this hole. But it's best to put this part in first. So let's just make sure we know which way up we are. Wait a minute. That's the bottom of the vehicle there. The axle is going to come through so that it's at the bottom as well. So we're not going to fit this that way up. So that's wrong. That's right. So I'll turn the whole thing round. This is the bottom of the vehicle here. Firmly hold. Push and twist, bit of a squash as well like that, and then we should be able to get that hole there lined up so that when we pop the axle through, there it goes. I think I'll push this down a bit further, push it down. Pull it through a bit like that, and in that way the axle makes contact with the bottom of the chassis. Put the next wheel on, there it goes, put it against the desk there and push, so we're not squashing the wheels. So now let's just line it up a bit better. There we are. So now our front wheels can be altered because this can be rotated. I think it's best to rotate it from underneath actually, and then just grab hold of the ends of the axle and then twist like that. And as you can see, we've made a very simple way to steer it round to the left. So we turn it that way. A very simple way to steer it round to the right. Well, you can test with that. Now, hopefully, you could get it to go round in circles, or you can get it to go in a perfectly straight line. And we did say that maybe another elastic band on that wheel there, that actually has the effect of giving them the same amount of grip, even though this is not a drive wheel. It just means it won't drag or slip and skid, and it gives you better control in circles actually when you do that. So there's our vehicle. This bit is now sort of an extra part, and that's going to get in the way. So what I tend to do is, when you're happy with its position, just gradually nibble at it with a pair of scissors. Oops, just switched it on. There it goes. Spare bit there. Get that nice and flat, because we'll want to be able to add a body design onto that in the next video.